What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? Klint Kubiak is set to be the Raiders' next coach. I'm excited, man. It's official, right? Not all the way official yet, but when it comes out of the horse's mouth, man, you might as well just say, man, that this thing is getting ready to get started in Las Vegas. You understand? So I'm very excited. We're going to talk about it just briefly as far as what it's going to look like for the Las Vegas Raiders. My team, my squad, you understand. Raider Nation, hard work, dedication. It's always going to be the same thing. Don't ever get it twisted. But this was very exciting. This was some of the news that actually almost overshadowed the Seahawks actually even winning the Super Bowl. This was literally the main story that everybody was talking about following the Seahawks win because of what Clint Kubiak had to say in his interview. Now, I played it briefly, talked about it briefly on last night's episode dealing with the Super Bowl post game show. Make sure you guys go check that out on ZamSports right now. But let's just look and get another reminder why black and silver, why the black hole, why the Raider Nation are excited. Because when you got somebody straight after the Super Bowl that's just gonna drop these type of gems, I mean, what? Come on.
We're gonna enjoy tonight.
Yeah. So no answers on the network.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. But tonight, one more for one more night. Hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going. Yeah.
Just confirmed it right here. What is the future?
Hell yeah, I'm going. Let's hear it one more time.
Because it's gonna happen.
Yeah. That's up to God, and we're gonna enjoy tonight. Yeah.
So no answers on the network.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys know I'm going to Las Vegas, so I'm fired up about it. But tonight, one more for one more night. Hell yeah, I'm going. Of course I'm going. Yeah.
And the performance that Clint Kubiak drawed up for the Seattle offense during the Super Bowl, especially I want to say during the first half, particularly in the second half, was just masterful, to be honest. Right, a lot of running the football. They definitely handed the ball and ran through Kenneth Walker as far as controlling the time of possession, tiring out the defensive ends of the New England Patriots, just to turn around in the second half and open the game up for Sam Darnold, right, with cross routes, fake tosses, running back tosses, right, and just quick dump outs. There were key plays that Clint Kubiak drawed up in that Super Bowl that was a significant difference in the Seattle Seahawks winning that Super Bowl. Because if you watch the game, it was quite close the entire time. I mean, going into halftime 9-0, it's pretty much wide open for any team, you know what I'm saying, to make a push. And Clint Kubiak, as you see, man, just calm and collected, right? And this is where the direction of the league is actually going in the NFL, as we're seeing. A lot of these young coaches are now starting to come into play because they're able to relate to the players more. We've seen coaches like Sean McVay, and now we're starting to see a Sean McVay tree, all right, as Kubiak comes from that. So it's pretty exciting. I'm very excited to see what the Raiders are going to do. I mean, we have a lot of draft picks, guys, which I'm going to get into. And you got to think about it, man, right? As you guys see here, it says Clint Kubiak is the new Raiders head coach. Great appointment and a big loss to the Seahawks. And this is what I want people to actually ponder on, right? As excited as he was, if I'm the Seattle Seahawks, I'm a little down this morning, right? I'm still excited that I won this, that, my team won the Super Bowl if I'm a Seahawk fan. But as I'm waking up the next morning, understanding that the key to our offensive firepower is now going to go coach the Las Vegas Raiders. These things happen all the time when young coaches or teams actually win Super Bowls or smell and taste success. Names start to rise in the league, interest from other teams, and this is exactly what took place with Clint Kubiak. So it says Seattle is behind the 8 ball in needing to find an offensive coordinator, with many already hired. And this is something that I was talking about yesterday, is that a lot of the hiring as far as dealing with coaches in this off season has already been done. I mean, the Raiders were literally one of the last teams, right, besides the Cardinals, to actually make their hire. And technically, it hasn't been set in stone on paper yet. But verbal communication, right, and verbal agreement, hey, man, we're going to take it as a Raider fan. You understand? And we're very excited. So I mean, I'm interested to see if the Seattle Seahawks are going to actually just promote somebody within the organization to offensive coordinator that's already been there, that understands what they were running this entire year. This is something that I would consider if I was in that organization. Right. So again, guys, this is breaking news, man. All right. Everybody's talking about it. And this is great for me, man, because my team has been in the news lately, man, ever since the Fernando Mendoza sweepstakes. And so while all these, and let don't get it twisted, Klint Kubiak was up there on the top list as far as hires throughout the entire league. And for the Las Vegas Raiders to be able to pull this off clearly shows that that Tom Brady effect is coming into play. You know, I kind of wasn't seeing it. You know what I'm saying? The first year, you know, as far as what we seen this year, I just kind of wasn't seeing in the offseason when we made moves like Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. You know, I did not like those moves. I was on record saying that it wasn't going to work, right? That Pete Carroll was too old, that his coaching style is outdated. Clearly, Seattle seen that and they let him go. So this is the right direction in a great way to rebuild my Las Vegas Raiders back into a winning program, because it starts from the top. And we see exactly what he did with Seattle and that offense. Because we got to be real, man. It's not like Sam Darnold is just like the second best coming, you know what I'm saying, of Dan Marino or John Elway, things of that nature. So he shows that he knows what type of personnel he has, and he's able to take his players and elevate them in the position based on their skill set. So it says, I'm told Seahawks and Coach Mike McDonald are closing in on hiring from within the team's current coaching staff to be Seattle's new offensive coordinator to replace Klint Kubiak. Kubiak is now, as of today, the new head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This is reported from the News Tribune. So, again, this would be the best option to do if I was Seattle, like I was saying earlier, because all these coaches have already been hired. Now, you still have Jim Schwartz that's actually out there, which could, I mean, but, you know, he's a defensive guy. But as far as big names, that's really the only big name that's out there. And I'm interested to see if the Raiders would actually go that direction and maybe bringing in Jim Schwartz as the defensive coordinator, because this will be a great fit, as you see here, for Max Crosby. As it says, Vegas could land Jim Schwartz as defensive coordinator, pairing his sharp play calling with a rookie head coach to reboot a leaky defense. Brown's loss would be Raiders' gain if Schwartz is Vegas' top fit. And this is out of Set Sports. All right, now this is just a report, just rumors that are just circulating throughout the Raider Nation as of today. But this is something that we need to focus on. It is set in stone that Klint Kubiak is definitely going to be our coach, which is something we are very excited about. And the Raiders should be excited because we haven't had a leader of this magnitude at the head coach position, to be honest, since John Gruden. And we've seen how that situation panned out. So I'm really excited for the play calling and the offensive schemes that Klint Kubiak is going to bring towards his office, because we already have pieces in play. We already have pieces to build around. We just need that leadership. You understand? So this could be I mean, these are the pieces that I'm talking about. I mean, this is the main foundation along with Max Crosby. But with these pieces on offense, right? You got Klint Kubiak who can just draw plays. We've seen what he did with Sam Darnold. I'm just gonna go ahead on a whim and just say that Fernando Mendoza, from what I see on the screen, he pops out a lot more to me on the screen than Sam Darnold does. 6'5", 225 pounds, can move, excellent arm, extraneous accuracy. I mean, we've seen that in the national championship game. Pair that along with Brock Bowers, who along with McBride, who I feel like are the top two tight ends in the league. We've seen what Ashton Genty was able to produce behind that abysmal offensive line of mines with the Raiders. And so coming into this season with this Klint Kubiak hire, this is going to change the entire atmosphere with Fernando Mendoza, right? Whom I'm assuming we're going to draft at number 1. We will be fools not to, right? You got a lot of Raider fans, and they call themselves Raider fans, or certain analysts, certain sports writers saying that, oh, they should trade the number 1 pick and get an exchange of players and draft picks. I mean, but at the end of the day, we literally have a draft pick in every single round this year. So we have plenty of draft picks to fill those holes at offensive line, to fill the holes, right, at cornerback. As far as the defensive back, we didn't really get good play from that position this year. But as far as the offense is concerned, we're about a few offensive linemen away from really making this thing happen. Because when you look at what is actually constructed in Seattle, it's damn near similar to what we're about to see with the Raiders, right? You've seen Kenneth Walker, right? Very similar to the style that Ashton Genty runs. They literally have the same stance in the backfield, all right? Sam Darnold around the same height and stature as Fernando Mendoza. Elusive, can move around. And then we got that guy Bowers, man, that solid tight end. So, I mean, this is going to be the face of the offense of the Raiders. And if you're a Raider fan like I am, you have a lot to be excited for. You understand? Now, I was talking about draft picks, right? With us having the first overall draft pick and us having draft picks in each round, I truly believe that the second round draft pick is going to be key in the development of Fernando Mendoza. And here's why. We lost Jacoby Myers, who I'm still hurt by. I wish we didn't make that move. I wish he didn't go. He did very well for our team. But we got to move forward. We got to get some help for Brock Bowers. We got to get some help for Trey Tucker. We also have that young phenom, Dante Thornton, at 6'4", elusive speed, that I feel that's going to come into his second year taking a huge leap. He only needs to work on his route running just a little bit. But other than that, man, this guy can be a phenom. But I really think the Raiders should be interested with that. I believe they have the 36th or 37th pick in the second round. And I really feel that we can use that pick to get a receiver to have a solid receiving core, whether it's through Brock Bowers, Dante Thornton. But I want you guys to check this out, man. This is Malachi Fields. All right. He's being overlooked a lot. 6'4", 225-pound receiver who just killed it at the Senior Bowl, man. Was literally the star standout at the Senior Bowl. All right. You got a lot of other people that's talking about the other, higher rated receivers that's going to be going into the first round draft, like Tate, things of that nature out of Ohio State. But we got to be real, guys. I think this guy is slept on. And if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, if I'm Tom Brady, understanding that Klint Kubiak is a master at drawing up offense and putting offensive players in the right position to succeed, this is something that I would go into. I mean, very physical at 6'4". Maybe not blazing speed, but the physicality is there. Right? It was said about this guy that he didn't get good separation. This is what the scouts had on him. But clearly in the Senior Bowl, guys, as you see, separation is not a problem with that physicality. The awareness to adjust to the ball. This is something that we don't have in Las Vegas right now. And the only thing that we do have close to this is Bowers, but he's the tight end. We need this out of the wide receiver position to help Fernando Mendoza and Klint Kubiak. This will open up the game for Ashton Genty. All right, let's look at some more highlights. Defender in midair. I mean, what are we talking about? Right, so the archetype that's on him, 6'3", 212. I got him at 6'4", 225. He's gained some pounds. All right, but 17 and a half yards per catch that he put up this year in college at Notre Dame. I mean, that is a dog, man. So this is something the Raiders should definitely be looking into. I'm going to be paying attention to see if they're going to address these type of things in the second round, because I truly believe the Raiders can address the offensive line issues in the third and rounds that are later, because there's a lot. This is a heavy offensive line draft, and it's also a heavy receiver draft. So when you and I'm going to end up doing a mock draft pretty soon. But if you actually look at a lot of the mock drafts that are out right now, like Mel Kiper, things of that nature, it's a lot of receivers in that first round that they got coming out, but no Malachi Fields. So this could be a potential steal for the Las Vegas Raiders at the 36th pick in the second round, right? And look at this, some more highlights at the Senior Bowl. All right, look at that right there. Physical, right? Heavy feet, which is going to be good for planting and development when it comes to route running. I mean, look at this again. I mean, that's physical, man. I mean, just outright killing them. Yeah, man. Malachi Fields, man. Something to be excited about, Raiders. This could potentially be a pair up with Fernando Mendoza, along with Klint Kubiak. The Raiders have a lot to be excited about, man. And again, look at this. That's what we saw earlier. A little bit more of a closer view. The physicality is there. And this is the type of player and personnel that we need on the Las Vegas Raiders moving forward. So all these things are going to be addressed within the draft and also within the free agency. 10 picks in the draft, you understand? Because they have picks from other multiple teams as well. Klint Kubiak coming straight to the Raiders, being the biggest news right now in football right now. Max Crosby, hyped up again, ready to give us another run. Now, we are coming out of that tough division in the AFC West. I understand. But right now, the NFC West is the best division in football. I see the AFC West being very wide open, depending on, I mean, come on, we still got Mahomes that's injured. There's no telling what he's going to come back looking like coming into next year. And I don't really see the Broncos even being a powerhouse like they were this year. I really thought, even if Bo Nix didn't get injured, I didn't think the Broncos was going to end up making it to the Super Bowl or any type of nature. Yes, they're a young team, but I still don't believe that Bo Nix is the answer. But that's another story. But I definitely see the Raiders coming into next season potentially, you know what I'm saying, winning the AFC West if all the cards and everything stack right. Because right now things are looking up right now. Right? So let's hear what real quick before we end this. I want to check out Mitchell Renz, right? Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his channel, right? Subscribe to him on Twitter. Also subscribe to him, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube with the Raider Report. Let's see what he has to say. He's speaking about Max Crosby. Again, a lot of teams are sending us some offers, but let's just see what's going on.
Raider Nation, we got a little bit of a Shefty bomb here around Max Crosby and some trade rumors. According to Adam Schefter, the Las Vegas Raiders are not interested in trading star defensive end Max Crosby unless they were to get a Micah Parsons side trade detail. Now, Glazer also threw out Micah Parsons trade size, and I don't know if that's just like what insiders are throwing out there because of the compensation, 2 first-round picks, and a Pro Bowl caliber player. And if you're the Raiders, you absolutely positively have to think about it. But what that report also, Schefter mentioned, is that Crosby wants to be traded. I think Max has done a good job silencing the rumors. I'll be honest. I think there was a lot of trade conversation from Super Bowl Media Row. However, I feel like Crosby wearing all the Raiders stuff that he did the other day on the show is kind of silenced a little bit. But to be clear, it sounds like if a trade were to happen, it would be on Max Crosby's side. I will continuously say I don't think a deal happens unless a Micah Parsons side deal goes down. And if it does, it's a win-win.
And I agree. I agree with Michael Rentz. And shout out to him, man. Right? Shout out to him. Or Mitchell Rentz, my bad. Shout out to him, right, in his platform. The key thing that he said at the end is that if we were to make any type of trade, it would have to be with Max Crosby because we don't really have anything else valuable on the team to offer another team to get valuable pieces. I mean, we're literally holding on to a gem right now. It's kind of similar in how the Los Angeles Lakers have Austin Reeves. So it would only make sense for us to trade Max Crosby, like Mitchell Rentz stated, if we were to get some type of major compensation for him, like a Micah Parsons type of trade. This is the only way that's going to work, which I really don't see happening at this point. I mean, I don't know Max Crosby personally, but just kind of watching him over the past few days with the understanding that we just got Klint Kubiak. I mean, he's kind of got that Raider excitement again, man. You heard he was decked out in Raider gear the other day. I mean, what are we talking about? We know that this guy wants to be a Raider for life, but he's definitely deserving to play for a winning team. And this is why it's very important for the Las Vegas Raiders in my squad to make the right moves, to really dive deep into this draft to find that gem. Because I truly believe that we're going to be able to find a gem in the later rounds, which is why I was kind of going into Malachi Fields. It's set in stone we're getting Fernando Mendoza. But a lot of people are looking at this draft and saying that this draft is a weak draft. Basically saying, like, okay, you got Fernando Mendoza, and then after the quarterback position, you only got Ty Simpson. Oh, it's not a lot of big names in the wide receiver, not a lot of big names off the defensive side. But I think this draft is being overlooked. And if I'm the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm doing my homework to make sure that I build the pieces around our star players, not only just on the offensive side, but also on the defensive side. So again, we need to address the defensive back positions to help Max Crosby, to give him more time to actually pressure the quarterback. Because if our cornerbacks cannot cover the receivers, Max Crosby rushing is not going to make a difference because the quarterback is going to be able to get the ball off, man, in 2 seconds. If we're not able to get defensive pressure with our 4-man rush without Crosby having to be involved, these are the certain issues. These are the certain things that we need to address. And with all the picks that the Raiders have and all the cap space that we have, I definitely see us going into next season making a huge push. So this is another episode of ZamSports. I appreciate y'all. I'm your host, Zam. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe, right? And I'll catch you guys another time for another episode, man. Until then, gone, y'all.